I am Johnny Massacre and welcome to my world. Right now live, we have Nigel Farage making a speech at the first Reform rally of 2026. Let's do this.
Wow. No one does pyrotechnics like Reform. And on May the 7th, across this country, there are going to be electoral pyrotechnics, the likes of which the other parties won't know what's hit them. You know, on a cold Friday evening in early January, to get a turnout like this in London is something that no other political party could do. And that's because, yes, of course, we know that Britain is broken. We know nothing works anymore. We know our politicians have been hopeless, led our country into decline. But we're not here because we're miserable. We're here because of one four-letter word. Not that one.
It's pretty funny.
Well, it could have been. No, we're here because we are providing something that none of the others can. We are providing genuine hope for the people of this country that we can turn things around.
Please, bruv. Anything's better than the moment.
Now, on the international stage, the year has got off to the most extraordinary start. Maduro, the leader of Venezuela, was a very, very bad man, and his removal is a good thing, and well done, America. Well done, America. I mean, his illegitimate rule led to no fewer than 8 million people fleeing Venezuela. That's even more than have left Keir Starmer's Britain. Although I do worry at times our Prime Minister has similar, not the same, but similar authoritarian instincts. But what is going on right now in Iran is something that should give us great thought. Back in 2015, President Obama, the European Union,
gave them cash,
the British Foreign Office,
pallets,
and then later on Boris Johnson and all the rest did a deal with this appalling, evil regime that has been there for 50 years, that has continued
money laundering,
their theocratic, appalling, barbarous rule. And I want to say this to those brave men and women out there on the streets of Tehran and elsewhere now, fighting to get back their freedoms, their liberties. As far as I'm concerned right now, long live the revolution. I pray for the Persian people.
Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah!
The Persian people are wonderful people. They're great people, educated people, brilliant people, and I pray for them, for their safety and their freedom. But of course, we can't even begin to discuss global politics without the war in Ukraine. I found it quite extraordinary that our failing Prime Minister, by the way, he's now the most unpopular Prime Minister there's ever been. I'm sure there are some supporters of Keir Starmer in the room here tonight. Well, I tried. It's my time on GB News. I have to seek balance, you see. Otherwise, Ofcom will kick me off. He went to Paris, had the summit with Zelensky, had the summit with President Macron.
Ugh.
Did you watch him delivering his speech? Classic Starmer. This shows you why this man is not fit to be the leader of this country. He stood with a sheet of paper, giving a statement, committing British troops after a peace deal to go into Ukraine for an unlimited period of time. And he had to look down at his notes every 2 seconds.
Yeah, in control.
Do you know when he was elected? On July the 5th, he stood outside Downing Street, delivered a 9-minute speech, and had to look at his notes 158 times. We're led by a man who frankly believes in nothing. We're led by a man who doesn't have a goal, a vision, which is why he gets blown around by events. His 12th U-turn is going to be on the pubs. Mind you, I quite like his U-turns. He's not a leader. But he said he was the head of the coalition of the willing. But who else was there with him? Macron, Starmer. Where were the Germans? Not going to commit to anything.
Wo ist der Deutschlandlander?
Where were the Italians? Giorgia Meloni was out the back having a fag. When we went into Afghanistan in 2002, on day one, there were 18 countries committing troops and money and resources. By the end of the Afghanistan campaign, 51 nations had taken part. This coalition of the willing, this commitment to British troops, and bear in mind, in 14 years of Conservative government, our armed forces were hollowed out in what I think is the most shameful way.
I want that hat.
The coalition of the willing isn't the 18 that went into Afghanistan, isn't the 51 that served there in the end. It's 2. It's us and the French. And frankly, and this matters, because if we do get a peace deal, I do not want an under-resourced, an undermanned, an underfunded, an under-equipped British army going into a mission of indeterminate length at massive cost, when frankly, all we've got are our friends, the French, with us. But it sums up Starmer. He thinks of everything in terms of the international order.
Pussy.
In terms of what do the others think of us. He's even prepared not just to give away the Chagos Islands, but to pay to give away what's already ours. And now, despite manifesto commitments, he's now doing his best to give away our parliamentary sovereignty, to give away your rights as voters, and to betray something that will enjoy its 10th anniversary on June the 23rd next year. The Brexit referendum.
To people we didn't even vote for, who arbitrarily attain power based on nepotism. Jesus Christ.
You remember it, the greatest exercise in democracy ever exercised in this country. And despite everyone telling us we'd lose our jobs, we'd lose our houses, plagues of black locusts would descend on our country, We told the establishment where to go. We voted to leave. We voted to take back control of our own country. A huge historic moment.
And we're still beholden to Europe, European Court of Human Rights, on nearly everything. It's time to extricate.
The Tory government just never believed in it and didn't fully deliver it. In fact, in terms of the millions that voted to control our borders, the millions that voted to reduce the numbers coming into Britain, what do we get? The opposite. The very opposite.
Facts.
At the peak of the Boris wave, net 1 million people came into Britain in the space of just 1 year.
Deport!
And it's a betrayal for which the Conservative Party will never be forgiven, and that is why we're here. We are replacing the Conservative Party.
Deport them all! Every single last one! Every single one! Every single one! Now!
Oh, they might hang on for a bit, but they're done. They're done just in the way the Liberals were almost exactly 100 years ago. But Starmer is committing us to everything. The Erasmus programme, which means more European students come here than our students can go there. When we had the Turing programme that was sending our students all around the world. He's committing us to a European energy policy.
Fuck it. Stop.
I thought our own net zero policy was mad enough.
Stop.
Without more coming from Brussels.
Please, God, no.
Bit by bit, he's taking away the ability, not just of our own parliament to make decisions, but of your rights as voters to decide who should take those decisions.
Fuck Brussels!
And I promise you, we will fight this giveaway, this surrender of our sovereignty, of our money, of our fishing grounds, and everything else, and we'll fight it tooth and nail.
I'm with you! I'm with you, Big Nige!
Fight it all the way.
All the way, cuzzy.
But in many ways, it's worse than that. Two-tier Keir. What is he?
Keir Starmer, he's a wanker.
The situation is so bad. We are led by people with such craven cowardice. They are not prepared to stand up for the values that made this country great and the values we need to bring back that matter, which is why we stand for family, community, and country. That is what we're about as a party.
If you don't like it, get the fuck out!
Community and country. We've given in. We've given in to the hard left lobby. We've given in to the extremists. Things have got so bad that we learned today that the United Arab Emirates will no longer sponsor their students to come to Britain for fear they'll be radicalized by the Muslim Brotherhood or other bad forces.
Deport!
That is how low we have sunk as a nation.
Deport!
And what about this city? David Bull gave the best history A-level lecture I've heard for many a long year.
He's actually quite good, you know.
But actually, you've only got to go back a couple of decades when London was booming, wasn't it?
Yep.
London was thriving.
I was there, cuzzy.
London was a place that companies from all over the world wanted to come,
yes,
set up headquarters,
yes,
invest.
Yes.
It was a trendy, great place.
It was.
For young people to come, an amazing cultural centre.
Yes.
But what is it now?
It's a shithole, bro!
Down upon by much of the rest of the world. In an epidemic, a crime wave, led by foreign gangs,
yes,
of epidemic proportions, and yet a police force who seem more concerned about what you may have said, sir, on Facebook than what is going on the streets of London every single day.
Communist, neo-Marxist, progressive scum! Get out of here! Come on, Nigel. Bring it back, son.
May the 7th this year is the single biggest electoral test this country will have between now and the next general election.
Okay, May 7th.
None of us know when that election will be. It doesn't have to be till 29, but my guess is that another couple of years of Rachel from accounts.
People will be fucked, Nige.
You know she was a senior economist at the Bank of England for 10 years, don't you?
Mate, she's a DEI hire.
Talk about low grade, goodness me. Another couple of budgets like this and the markets will get them out. I think the election will come in 27. But either way,
no, Nigel.
May the 7th is huge.
Communist
May the 7th is huge. All 32 London boroughs will vote. The whole of Scotland will vote. The whole of Wales will vote. And much of England was supposed to be having a vote. And now we learn that up to 10 million people may be deprived of their vote. In some cases, for the second year in a row. These are the actions, not just of a Labour government, but with the connivance in some counties of the Conservatives and the Liberal Democrats. Denying elections is the behaviour of a banana republic.
You can't deny, mate, this man is very prime ministerial.
And we'll know by midnight
He's got it.
on Wednesday just how many of these elections have been cancelled. Well, I was going to save this announcement for next week, but you know what? I can trust you, can't I?
Yes, come on, give me the info.
None of you will leak any of this, will you?
Never, bro.
When we find out how many of the mayoral and county and local elections, districts and boroughs have been cancelled, then next Thursday we are primed and ready, and we will launch a judicial review against the government for these actions.
Well, I won't hold my fucking breath, but better than nothing.
My apologies to the press office for not saving it. I just couldn't resist it. Because that is what we're about, isn't it? We're about settling our arguments at the ballot box. That is the fundamental of democracy. We have this so that we don't fight each other. It's what generations that went before gave so much to defend that very principle. And if the others won't fight for it, we will.
Let's go, England, 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 England. Come on, lads. Come on, come on. It's in our DNA.
Now, the London elections this year will go ahead. All 32 London boroughs.
Right.
And while it may be 2 and a bit years until we have the mayoral elections,
mate,
there is no doubt that when people vote on May the 7th in these 32 boroughs, many will be thinking about the direction London has gone in. Many will be thinking about Sadiq Khan.
And Londonistan.
But as of this week, and we've hit the ground running in 2026, as of this week, when they vote, yes, they'll think about local candidates. Yes, they'll think about local councils. But they'll also understand that this is the next big step before the mayoral elections in London. And after this week, they'll also be thinking about the excellent, bold, brave Lila Cunningham.
Right. That's the person who's running to replace Sadiq Khan.
And
Sadiq Khan is neo-communist scum, globalist,
I really believe,
choir boy.
I really believe she's going to do the most fantastic job. the most fantastic job. Does she have the support, London, of our members? Good.
Anyone but Sadiq Khan, Kazi. Anyone. Anyone.
Good. I've made a good choice then. But you know, you come along to this event, and as I say, to get a turnout like this early in January in London is astonishing. But this is not, as they say, a free lunch, because I need something from you. Politics is, of course, about leadership. Politics is, of course, about policy. Politics, of course, is about principle.
Bro, crucifix in the background.
But politics only really succeeds when it's backed up by that face-to-face contact. Whether it's talking to somebody in the pub, whether it's knocking on doors, whether it's out delivering leaflets, meeting people in the streets. What we do as a party at grassroots level, what you can do in all your own ways to persuade other people to turn out and vote on May the 7th.
Do it!
Will make a massive material difference to how many seats we win, to how many councils we win, and to what our percentage chance of beating Khan in 2028 is.
Do it.
So you sitting here before me, you are the people's army. And my job tonight is to mobilize
Hell yeah.
the people's army. I need you, if you haven't yet thought about it, to say, yes, I'll stand in my council in London on May the 7th this year.
Nice Farage's Blue Army.
With my local branch ahead of May the 7th in these elections this year. I'm prepared to deliver leaflets in my street. I'm prepared to help with a street stall. I'm prepared to help raising a bit of money. I need you to be mobilized. I can't achieve my goals. Layla can't achieve her goals. None of our candidates already there can achieve their goals unless you're prepared to help us. So let me ask you, are you prepared to commit tonight? Are you prepared to help us?
Mate, what other choice do we have?
Listen. I'm now going to do the procedural bit. So, around the outside of this hall, we have the branches in London we've set up already. I will show you where to go. Please go to your local branch. Please go to your local area. Please meet people. Please commit to doing something, and I'll tell you where to go. We start over here, Greenwich.
Oh, here we go.
There we go, active branch already, I can tell.
Aha.
Lewisham.
Hey.
Bexley.
Hey.
Bromley.
Hey.
Richmond upon Thames.
Hey.
Wandsworth.
Oi, oi.
Lambeth.
Hey.
Bit of work needed for Lambeth, isn't there?
That's right, bro.
Southwark.
Hey.
Harrow. Ealing.
Hey.
Cities of London and Westminster.
Hey.
Camden.
Oi, oi.
Waltham Forest. Enfield. Barking and Dagenham. Havering. Barnet. And Brent. Right?
Right.
Now, on the other side, and by the way, the fact we have all these branches set up already shows you the incredible strides we've made in a very, very short space of time. It's just that most of you here will not yet be connected to these branches, hence why I'm explaining. Over here on the other side, Tower Hamlets, Hammersmith and Fulham,
Hey.
Merton,
Hey.
Kingston upon Thames,
Hey.
Hounslow,
Hey.
Hillingdon, Sutton, Croydon,
Oi, oi.
Haringey, Hackney and Islington,
Hey.
and Redbridge. So I couldn't have made myself clearer, could I? I want you, please, when this is over, to go to the relevant part of the room and please, whatever you can or cannot do, volunteer. We need your help. I know it sounds a bit like an evangelist meeting, but it is. No, it is. We want our country back.
Damn right we do.
In trouble, and we're gonna fight for it.
We fucking well are, bruv. To the end. To the end. You don't want to fuck with the Brits, bruv.
We're gonna fight hard for it. And you know what? We've now led for nearly 200 opinion polls in a row.
It's coming.
We have a Prime Minister and a press who are sinking to the gutter in terms of their abuse. But you know what? We're not going to reply. We're not going to respond. We're going to ignore them. We're going to hold our heads high as proud British people trying to build a better future for those that come after us.
Go on, my son!
We can do this. I'm confident we can change the future of British history. Are you?
Fuck yeah! Let's go, Nige!
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
You don't want to fuck with the Brits, mate. Biggest empire in the universe. What language you speaking, Americans? You're welcome. That's alright. Seriously, mate, it's in our DNA. High IQ destruction on a global scale. We're very tolerant, but when our tolerance runs out and you take advantage of our kindness, you're getting the fuck out. God damn, that was a good speech by Nigel Farage. That was actually rather spectacular. You cannot deny he's got it. Like, he's got something. No fear at all, no apprehension at all, feels comfortable on the stage, barely missed a beat, very eloquent and decent. I felt that all he had to do was highlight the ridiculous things his rival Keir Starmer is doing, and that's pretty much enough to get people on his side, and I think he did that pretty well. And pretty humorous as well, pretty funny guy. Reform was my choice before they booted Rupert Lowe out of the party. Personally, I just think Rupert Lowe is pretty much the British gentlemanly version of Donald Trump. And I align with nearly everything Rupert Lowe says. Unfortunately, I can't see a way for him to be the Prime Minister. And we don't really have another choice. So Reform is definitely going to get my vote. Even though I live in Japan, I might be returning to the UK next year. And I'll definitely do my overseas vote for Reform. Be interesting to hear what you think in the comments. What do you think about the current state of Britain, mate? There are too many fucking foreigners here, messing things up, spiking the crime levels, making London or whatever city you're in an unsafe place to live on an inordinate amount of benefits. Meanwhile, the economy is absolute trash and we're paying for these people when we're struggling to make ends meet. I don't think I'm alone in that story. So it'd be great to hear your opinion about wherever you are in the UK, what your current experience is in the UK, whether you genuinely think we can turn things around or you think we're past the point of no return. Never give up, sunshine. That's my motto. We're taking this shit back. Never count the Brits out. So big up Reform. I did enjoy that speech. Short and sweet, to the point. And I think Nigel did what he had to do. Now let's hear what you think.
Johnny Massacre says, mental news cycle. Return of Teledite says yeah. Ezina says, that was epic, mate.
Thank you. So, okay, so more news for today. So, shit is popping off in Iran. So, Return of the Luddites let me know about this today. He sent me a message, and he has some boots on the ground over in Iran, knows some people out there. And they have cut off the internet and TV and phone lines in Iran. So it seems like the revolution is getting serious and it might happen, and the regime is trying to crack down and clamp down on what is happening over in Iran. So this is a absolutely crazy news cycle. Let's go on over to Iran and see what's happening, shall we, my friends? Okay, let's go on over there. If oh God, my internet is not working well today. You have to bear with me. By the way, if you're enjoying this stream, please consider donating on streamlabs.com/Johnny Massacre, patreon.com/Johnny Massacre, paypal.me/gimme a hell Yeah, I would much appreciate it, and it would allow me to make more of these shows. The links are to the right of my head. And with that said, let's go on over to Iran, see what is happening. Bruv. So according to Basil the Great on X, he says, holy shit, thousands are on the streets of Tehran. This is a revolution in Iran. The mullahs are failing.
Says, make Britain great again.
Make it great again, Kazi. Look at this over in Iran. Like, look at this. The punishment for this kind of stuff is torture, having limbs cut off, execution. So look how serious this shit's getting. This actually is something is happening in Iran. So Hamas atrocities on X says the Ayatollahs shut the internet connectivity down today, but thanks to Elon Musk's Starlink, we can see what is going on in the streets of Iran. So Elon Musk doing God's work. Is there anything that man cannot do? And it's getting serious over there. So it's been 24 hours since Iran implemented a nationwide internet shutdown with connectivity flatlining at 1% of ordinary levels. The ongoing digital blackout violates the fundamental rights of Iranians. So complete shutdown, as you can see, in the last 24 hours. No internet, no phones, no SMS, no landlines. Gee, I wonder what's happening in Iran. Obviously, the regime are cracking down. Think Tiananmen Square in China, Tank Man, but much, much worse on a much larger scale. This is on Fox News, and the mainstream media are very slow with this, but something very serious is happening in Iran. Fox says on the brink, Iran imposed a nationwide internet blackout as anti-regime protests enter their second week, restricting communications as the reported death toll reaches 44. Earlier, President Trump warned that if the regime begins killing people, they will be hit very hard. Now, this is true. Trump said not too long ago he's actually going to go in there and sort them out. This is an actual post from Trump on Truth Social. And it says, if Iran shoots and violently kills peaceful protesters, which is their custom, the United States of America will come to their rescue. We're locked and loaded and ready to go. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. The Iranians need you, Trump. They certainly need you right now. See Fox News running with this, saying the Iran regime has cut nationwide internet access as protests claim 44 lives across major cities. I think it looks like America might use that as a pretext to go in there. Now, Iran State TV, according to Tommy Robinson, is trying to intimidate protesters. They are saying, don't let your children go out tonight. If they do, don't complain if they are shot. So it's getting very serious in Iran. So Tusi TV says nearly 24 hours after the internet was completely shut down, images still emerging from across Iran. Mosques, Islamic centers and government buildings were destroyed overnight, including sites in Tehran and cities across the country. Despite claims minimizing the scale, the footage tells a very different story. This is the aftermath.
First, I'm going to talk about what happened last night, the aftermath of last night, because obviously it's now, I think, about 20 hours, 22 hours since the internet's been shut down. And completely, we are still getting some images and videos from yesterday. Mosques have been destroyed. Many mosques and government buildings have been destroyed.
Bruv, they're blowing up mosques. This is mad.
Including the one you're seeing in this image in Desful.
It's happening.
There was also a number of Islamic centers and mosques that have been destroyed in the capital, Tehran. Let's quickly go to one of them.
Meanwhile, shit lives in the left with their kefirs protesting outside mosques, protecting radicalism. When in countries where radicalism is actually is leading and they're in charge, everyone's like burning those institutions down.
And see that. That's in Tehran. You can see the mosque.
Bro, the mosques are on fire in Iran. This is actually happening.
Literally on fire.
This is insane. Bro, do you understand what the penalty is for those people amassing there? This is actually happening. Get in there, America! Come on now!
What? Someone says, according to the BBC, there were just hundreds on the streets. Yeah, no, that's not true.
So this is another thing. So the mainstream media is, as they are wont to do, sweeping this under the rug. Absolute scumbags. Let's see if BBC News has even remotely reported on this. They better be. Finally, it's here. More demonstrations erupt in Iran. So they were basically 12 hours late. While all this shit was popping off on X, I was going across BBC and it wasn't anywhere at all. So I don't know. They had to vet it. They had to make sure it's going to be politically correct and not going to offend anyone. But legacy media is basically in a massive decline. And then we have citizens journalists like this fellow in this video on X who are doing God's work and actually showing us what's really happening. But it certainly is popping off over there. How's this for a fantastic image from Iran? Now, Iranian women are insanely hot. They're so hot. Their eyes with the dark circles and everything. Now, we got 2 Iranian girls, one of whom is certainly unequivocally top tier S-grade babe, setting on fire a picture of the supreme leader Ayatollah with a cigarette. That's what I'm talking about. Very, very brave women indeed. Let it happen. Let it happen. Free these people. Iran in the 70s, one of the most progressive, freest places. It was amazing. And then basically Islam turned it into a radical it-hole shay. So breaking seas from Iran, protesters are reportedly setting fire to the tomb of Khomeini, the founder of that revolution I just mentioned in 1979. This is an extraordinary moment that highlights the intensity of the unrest. Mate, they're setting fire to Khomeini's tomb. It is popping off. Look at this. Look at this. This is mental. Bruh. It's actually happening. So Iranians also toppled the statue of former head of IRGC Quds Force, Qasem Soleimani, the terrorist President Trump eliminated. Unbelievable. Starlink's the only thing allowing us to have these images. So once again, thank you, Elon Musk. Leo Kurz, absolute legend on X, says protesters attacked the headquarters of the Basij, volunteer militia used for internal security and protest suppression in Iran's capital in Tehran. And the punishment for this is grape and death, essentially. So people have had enough. And this could be the moment when finally the authoritarian Islamic regime is toppled. Andy No says, well, here we are. Iran's supreme leader is echoing how US Democrats and leftists speak by smearing mass protesters in Iran as Trump supporters. And this is how you know the left are seriously fucked up, because they align with all these radical terrorists on nearly every issue. So check out this headline. More protests erupt in Iran as the supreme leader accuses crowds of trying to please Trump. That's exactly what the left would say about Trump regarding any situation which doesn't fit their narrative. So the left, you know, they support any other world leader, even terrorist leaders ahead of their own. Recently, some support Maduro. They clearly support the Ayatollahs of Iran. Leftists and the tyrants of Iran on the same page. So apparently this is the channel to follow if you want to be up to date on what's happening on the ground in Iran. It's Goldie Gamari, which is spelled Goldie, and then another second word is Ghamari. This guy's got constant live footage explaining what's happening on the ground in Tehran, about all the deaths over there, the revolution.
Not only, they took full control.
So I would go on over there if you wanna stay up to date on what is happening. And you can see here again, Iran's supreme leader Khomeini accusing protesters of pleasing Trump amid ongoing unrest. It's all Trump's fault. It's all Trump's fault. In Minnesota, when an ICE agent is nearly run over by a radical leftist, it's all Trump's fault, and Trump's a fascist. Over in Iran, when they try to destroy and murder their own people, it's all Trump's fault. Leftists and radical Islamic terrorists are more alike than you would like to think. So there you go, my friends. That is an absolutely bonkers news cycle today. We had Tim Walz, governor of Minnesota, threatening to call in the Minnesota National Guard and create a civil war to attack ICE agents. We also had Nigel Farage's first speech and reform rally of 2026 today on Friday the 9th of January. And the Iranian revolution, is it actually happening? Certainly the seeds are starting to blossom. Whether or not it happens will depend on the resolve and spirit of the Iranian people, and quite possibly whether the Trumpster, Donald Trump himself, is going to get involved. And would you bet against it? Donald Trump is a man of peace. No wars ever started under his rule. He'll only stop wars using peace through strength. And so Trump and his team have to be thinking very carefully about this. They don't want to get involved in an endless forever war. But Iran's resources and technology are shit because they don't have free markets. And so if Trump can leverage the will of the Iranian people, perhaps it could be done. I'd be interested to hear your opinions in the comments. Do you think the Iranian people will succeed, or do you think they're going to be crushed by the Ayatollahs? Keep your eyes peeled to the news cycle via that channel I just showed you, because he's going to bring you the best news Goldie Gamari, and thank you once again to new viewer in the comments for
bringing
my attention to that channel.
When we lost God, we lost what was great. Joe88 says, I heard they already did a massacre. Return of Thelodite says a lot more was killed last night though, Johnny. Return of Thelodite says after they turned the net off they started shooting.
Must be.
Joe88 says, hell yeah. Return of Thelodite says that's punk. Thirdest Police Edberger says, I heard they shut down the internet earlier and were playing Tucker Carlson translated videos as propaganda, lol, that was from chicks on the right. Joe88 says, LMFAO. Return of Thelodite says, Carlson's become a bit of a shill of date. Thirdest Police Edberger says, yeah, he's a creep.
I never really liked Tucker that much. I mean, he was a juggernaut in the Republican movement. He had a lot of kind of boom rage Republicans on his side. And he had a good show that he put together. It's pretty engaging, and he was a journalist, a real journalist. He'd get stuck in, he'd go and visit places, he'd interview people, and he's very good in front of a crowd. He was doing huge speeches in the run-up to Trump's second presidency during the rallies, and he was just slaying it effortlessly. Always found him a little bit kooky, bruv, like that laugh. And some of he's a bit of an oddball for me, but you know, I still watch him occasionally. But he was never the top man for me. But yeah, like if they're playing videos of Tucker Carlson, there you go, bro. There you go. They'll never be playing videos of me and Orion, absolute wankers, mate. You know what I think? Got to take down those radical fools, set the people free, cuzzy. Okay, everyone. Yeah, there you go. Two big shows in one day. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you appreciated that. If you did enjoy that and you're new here, make sure to subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. We had 3,000 views for that. Mate, we just set another record. We can't stop going viral, cuzzy. Basically, I just want the government to leave me alone and stop fucking things up and stop taxing me and stealing my money like some kind of gang.
Joe88 says talk about Kiev getting hit with a Sheksy missile from Russia.
I didn't know about that. I did see something briefly in the news, but I don't know about that. I mean, you can talk about it, cuzzy. You got the mic. You know, that's why this channel is awesome, because you get text-to-speech and often you know more than I do.
Joe88 says let's go.
And together we'll work shit out, bruv. We'll work shit out. We'll work out what's going on. So anyways, yeah, Nigel Farage, he gets my vote. Just because, like, there's no alternative, really. I want to vote for Rupert Lowe. I just want him to be Prime Minister. I know that he would sort shit around. Deport. Everyone, get them all out. It would fix every single issue. And you know it's true. You know it's true.
Joe88 says hit a natural gas pipeline.
Oh, really? That's not very good news for them. That's not very good news. As I said, if you enjoyed the show, please consider donating on one of these links. It would be very helpful for obvious reasons. And I think that's about it for me tonight. I'm just going to cut it out there. So much love to you all. Take care. Good night. Make sure to leave a comment about your thoughts, what's happening in London, so we can use that as a resource to kind of work out what's going on and just get our country back, bruv. It's coming back. It's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming. England's coming home. And the rest of the UK. Much love to you all. Good night and take care. Cheers.
Ezina says, thank you.
Actually, I'm staying, bruv. I'm staying. I was going to leave. I'm going to stay.
Joe88 says it was Kiev.
It was Kiev. It was Kiev.
Return of Thelodite says heating up around the world.
Everything's kicking off, bruv. Everything is kicking off right now. What should we do? We have 100 people watching. We should do something, right?
Thirdest Police Edberger says L8RS Johnny everyone.
Shall I just start playing the hardest NES game of all time? Or is that going to make the stream weird if somebody tunes in now? It probably will. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to outstay my welcome. Good night, everyone.
Thirdest Police Edberger says Lyle Mayo.
Cheers. Bye.